So Asteroid City, I want to point out to the audience that that was a single take. And it's fast talking. Not many people can do that. Tell us about it.
Well, thank you. Well, yes, that was a single take, and that's take one. Wait. I'll tell you the story. Wes likes to say it's take one. So, American Fiction is the story of a guy who's in the midst of a series of family crises. I kind of was that guy for a while. When I went off to do Wes's movie, do Asteroid City, I was doing Westworld at the time. They let me run off for a bit to go film, but I was a bit distracted by a lot of things going on. So I knew the script, of course, and I knew that speech reasonably well, and I showed up, and Wes said, he said, "Hey, Jeffrey, glad you're here. You know we're gonna do the speech tomorrow, right?" And I was like, ooh, okay. So that was the plan. We did. And I said, I think I got it. I'd worked on it. And I said, yeah, okay, I got it. The wide shot, I'll be good. When we get in a little bit closer, by then I'll really have it dialed in, which is kind of a trick that I use, an unfortunate habit that I fall in. I rehearse on the first couple of takes, and then when I showed up on set, I went, oh, you forgot. This is Wes. There will be no additional, it's gonna be one shot. And he doesn't want so much as a semicolon out of place. And he wants it at pace. You forgot. So we did it that day. And, we spent the morning working on it. And it's a real dance because Sanjay, who's his dolly grip, key grip, has devised this tracking system that allows him to move laterally and forward. And so you're really dancing with the camera crew. And it's obviously very precise. And it takes a little bit. So we did a few takes. I don't know, we did a lot of takes. I don't know, we did 30, 35 takes, getting that one thing, and kind of got it. And then at the end of the morning, I said, Wes, I think that was a rehearsal. And he said, no, we got it. It's good. So, okay, all right, we went on to the next. I said, but I really think that's a rehearsal. So we went back, he saw the dailies, and Wes, we all live in the same hotel, right? It's really wonderful. We eat dinners together, breakfast together, you're all there at the same time, and hair and makeup is in some part of the lobby, He edits upstairs in another suite somewhere. It's all very clever. It creates community, but you also never leave work. It's very efficient. You're always at work. So anyway, he went up, the day after or whatever, was watching the dailies, and he came down and he goes, yeah, Jeffrey, I think maybe we should revisit the speech. I said, yeah, okay, cool. He said, we're gonna do it on Saturday. I said, okay, let's do it. So this was like a Tuesday or Wednesday, when he said this. We came back and did it on Saturday, and that's the first take. Yeah.
Amazing. So American Fiction, going in, I knew that it was going to be this really strong satire, but I was floored by the family dynamics. I don't recall recently seeing such a messy, loving family. And then the different levels of love that you have to navigate in your character. Whether it's, brother, the mother having to deal. I mean, tell us your experience of landing in that world.
Yeah, it's a family that puts the fun in dysfunction. But it, it's a family that's recognizable, I think, because it's a family as crazy as everybody else's family is crazy. And it has a wonderful universality to it. It might be inhabited by the legendary Leslie Uggams, who's our mother, and Tracy Ellis Ross, and Sterling K. Brown, and myself, but it's just like everybody's family. And I think that there's a wonderful, almost subversive quality to that portrait. Because meanwhile, on the other side of the film is this absurdly, almost tragically absurd circumstance that this man finds himself in that's just ridiculous, and the misperceptions of who he is and the assumptions about his life and who he is, all of this stuff that he's fighting in order to really, at the end of the day, have the freedom to express himself as he feels he is. Meanwhile, on the other side, he's just a dude trying to deal with his family. And that's the answer to the preconceptions, the misperceptions. The answer is, I'm dealing with human stuff like everybody else is. And that, I think, is really beautiful. In fact, the first time that I saw the film, I looked up at the screen at one point. This was in Brooklyn with an audience. First time I saw it, rather, with an audience. I looked up and I just said to myself, wow, what beautiful people. For me, this was the essence of the film. The satire, all that stuff was great, wonderful, smart, having conversations that everyone is having in our country right now, but conversations that we don't necessarily have well. We're not smart at talking about race, but we're all thinking about it. It's at the forefront of the political dialogue right now in this country, the forefront. Questions around race, inclusion, diversity. Some people want it to go away, want the history to go away. Some people want to discuss it to perhaps do it better. Some people are traumatized by the discussion, but we're all thinking about it. But we don't come together easily and have these conversations. But we can do it in this film, and we can even have a laugh while we're doing it. There's nothing to be afraid of. We're not afraid of the conversation. It's a wonderful part of the film. But for me, the heart is the family. That's what drew me in. That's what plucked all of my kind of emotional and psychological strings, because it was the life that I was leading when I got the script. My mom passed away about a year and a half before I got the script. I had the great good fortune of being raised by two women, my mother and her eldest sister, my Aunt Naomi, who's 94 years old now. Being raised by two women is like being raised by 10 men. Tough. But I was, my mom went very quickly, cancer. I was an only child as well, and I was managing that and being there for her. And then my aunt, while she was ailing, while my mother was ailing, came to live with us in New York. I have kids, the pandemic, the world was crashing in, it seemed. And, had to deal with it. And in some ways, making this film was a part of the rebuilding. For me, one of the gifts that we have is that we can take even these most difficult circumstances in our lives, we as actors, and kind of shape them and ideally find some meaning in them at the very least, and then use it in our work, and maybe it provides some type of validation for someone in the audience. And that, that's a wonderful thing. So many people have come up and said that I was caretaker to my mother. My father had Alzheimer's. We just put him in a home yesterday, and I was moved. I was validated by that aspect of the story. People from across backgrounds. So, yeah, for me, that's the heart, spirit, soul, and body of the story. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, we have to wrap this up, from the bottom of my heart, I have to tell you that you have brought so much joy to my life, both in theater and in film. And having you here tonight has brought so much joy.
Oh.
So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.